Chinese scientists have announced a new method to produce water on the moon. And it has nothing to do with the crazy new spacesuit that could let astronauts drink their own filtered urine as suggested by NASA. Water is essential for life, and successful space exploration depends on the ability to recycle or generate water in space. Reaching Mars and venturing further will require a reliable method to produce sufficient water for the entire crew. To reach Mars, however, a strategic stop on the moon is necessary. The distance between Mars and Earth constantly varies due to their different orbital speeds around the Sun. Therefore, launching missions to Mars during a specific window, which occurs every 26 months, reduces the amount of fuel required. The moon could serve as a convenient starting point to take advantage of these launch windows. The moon is a vital component of the space exploration puzzle. One of our upcoming goals is to visit Earth's satellite and establish a permanent base there. The moon also holds potential access to various resources, including methods to produce water and fuel in space. Chinese researchers may have taken a significant step toward establishing a permanent mission on the moon. They successfully converted lunar soil into large quantities of water, using samples brought back from the moon by the 2020 Chang'e 5 mission for their experiments. Researchers from the Chinese Academy of Sciences discovered that minerals in the lunar soil contain large amounts of hydrogen. Heated to very high temperatures, the soil reacts to other elements. The chemical reaction produces water vapor that can then be collected. The scientists estimate they can produce approximately 51 to 76 kilograms of water each 1,000 kilograms of lunar soil. That's equivalent to over 500 milliliters bottles, potentially sufficient to meet the daily drinking water needs of 50 people. Most recommendations suggest that humans should drink at least 2 liters of water daily. It remains uncertain whether 1 ton of lunar soil would be sufficient to meet this need. While we also obtain water from food sources, those too would require water for processing. Additionally, the energy required to produce water and the other elements involved in the chemical reactions that generate water vapor are still unclear. These are crucial factors for making the water production process feasible and replicable on the moon and beyond. But how do they produce water from the soil? The US and China are in a race to conquer the moon and its resources. China aims to establish a moon base station by 2035 and plans to deploy a space station around the moon a decade later. Both projects would require substantial water sources, whether through reclaimed water or by using the brand new method discovered by Chinese researchers. Finding or creating water in space is also crucial for producing the hydrogen rocket fuel needed to reach Mars and other destinations. If China's method proves successful, scientists may be able to turn lunar soil into rocket fuel. However, this remains speculative. Further research is likely to follow. The researchers used lunar soil from the moon's near side for this water experiment. China has also explored the moon's far side with the Chang'e 6 mission, bringing back additional samples from the lunar surface that always faces away from Earth. Let me share a significant history. Up until now, only 3 countries have brought back lunar soil from the moon: China, the United States, and the former Soviet Union. The United States achieved 6 manned lunar landings between 1969 and 1972, bringing back a total of 381 kilograms of lunar soil. The Soviet Union conducted 3 unmanned landings in 1970, 1972, and 1976, collecting a total of 301 grams of lunar soil. China obtained 1.7 kilograms of lunar soil through the Chang'e 5 mission in 2020, and in 2024, the Chang'e 6 mission brought back another 1.9 kilograms. This 1.9 kilograms of lunar soil is extraordinary, as it marks the first time humanity has obtained soil from the far side of the moon. But there's also an interesting point. From the lunar soil brought back by Chang'e 5, China discovered the presence of water molecules, albeit in extremely low concentrations, only about 1 part per million. But still, it's there. Previously, American and Soviet scientists had studied the lunar soil they retrieved and concluded that it contained no water, misleading humanity for decades. Why do their research results differ from the Chinese one? There are basically 2 reasons. The first reason is the difference in storage conditions. The US and the Soviet Union collected lunar soil decades ago, and storage technology back then was certainly not as advanced as it is today. China has used more sophisticated storage techniques that can more accurately preserve the true state of the lunar soil. The second reason lies in the detection methods. Detection technology several decades ago was not sensitive enough to identify water content at parts per million levels. Although the Chinese scientists had confirmed the presence of water in lunar soil, the concentration was too low for direct human use. This is why they continue to launch missions like Chang'e 7 to search for solid water at the moon's south pole, the most likely place for its existence. Finding solid water on the moon would solve one of the biggest challenges in establishing a long-term lunar base. However, even before the launch of Chang'e 7, the scientists have brought good news. The experts have found a method to directly produce water from lunar soil. In a simple way, one can say that because lunar soil has been exposed to solar wind radiation for billions of years, it contains a large amount of hydrogen. The researchers found that when lunar soil is heated to a high temperature, the hydrogen reacts with the iron oxides in the soil, resulting in the formation of elemental iron and large quantities of water. If you continue to raise the temperature above 1,000 degrees, the lunar soil will completely melt. The water produced in the earlier reactions will be released as steam. Then, by collecting this steam, it turns into water. The most important aspect of this method is that it's not only low cost, but also highly feasible. The Chinese Academy of Sciences team is proposing that on future lunar bases, moon dirt could be heated by focusing sunlight with concave mirrors. British scientists have calculated that using this method, 1 ton of lunar soil can produce 50 to 75 kilograms of water, enough to supply one person for a month. Moreover, the iron produced from this chemical reaction can be directly used for constructing lunar bases, eliminating the need to transport building materials from Earth. The water produced this way can be used for drinking, growing crops, and even electrolyzing into hydrogen and oxygen, solving the issue of breathable air. The hydrogen can be reused as an energy source, and the metals extracted can be used to build a base. As lunar exploration program continues to advance, the moon's mysteries are gradually being unveiled. We look forward to more surprises from our scientists. If you enjoy content like this, support the channel, give us a like, leave your comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our updates.